Bayede nina bethungu. Bayede bantwana bedlozi. OmBethe on your stream again. You know, I remember when we first began on this journey, and I speak within the context of Ubungoma, as I found myself endleleni, because the funny thing is, at least in my stories, that I only came across Ubungoma when I became a Mngoma, you know. I started interacting with that world or that dimension eyempilo when I entered into it. Ukuthi manje I have to go and accept my calling in this lifetime, And that was my first contact. And I remember some of the stories we would be told ukuthi uma uqeda ukuthwasa then izinto zakho zizohamba kahle, And I see many initiates over the years, or I've come across a lot of initiates over the years who would say, it seems like that was an old wives' tale, not this shaya, and abanye go from normal state base bangakangena ephethweni, and then things just go pear-shaped all right through. Abanye things don't go according to their expectations in regards to that statement, and then uqala umrusu, iqala inqubavane ke manje ukuthi umuntu now goes into this battle with themselves. They go into this war zone nedlozi labo, where they have this expectation nedlozi labo, yet at the same time they are not as eloquent in the language eyedlozi. That in most cases I've come across people on whom idlozi has already spoken, has already shown the path and the direction, but because of expectations and lack of comprehension kwezinye izinto, then we find ourselves in these glitches as la sizithola silwa khona nemimoya yethu. You are always in this tense and uncertain subliminal anger state and position, ngoba manje izinto nazi kuthiwa azilungi, or azilungi, or wherever it is la ukhona in your journey, they're not where you would desire them to be, and which is fair, but the premise is, somewhere we were told ukuthi ngedlozi magical things will just happen, akuzovele nje kuhlakane kuyenzakale umakhalayi nje, in the ancestors being happy ukuthi yes, ugcina yenza lo mntana, simnikezeni nayi moto, nayi muzi, nayi new job, whatever, whatever it is that you are ambitioning for. People tend to think ukuthi these things are the rewards that the ancestors show appreciation with, and I can understand the logic, but it's not the complete story, bantwana bakagogo, What you must understand is that our ancestors knew time, space, reality, They knew about the earth, they knew about space, they knew about time, and all those evolutions as a skati. And in that, they also understood ukuthi you needed to keep to certain principles, you needed to keep to certain laws of this time, space, reality, and beyond, whatever, They knew ukuthi if one is living in accordance or in harmony with these things, then izinto okuthiwa yinhlanhla or ukuphumelela, upopa, ube mnandi elifini is only due to alignments, and anytime you are called ukuyenza umsebenzi is essentially at a high level of communication with the ancestors, or that space esamathonga nedlozi, is to bring you back into alignment in a sense, and because now you come back into that alignment, this is when now things so-called fall into place or fall into order, and hila manje izinto zizenzakalela, because that is the natural magic that everybody has, you know. That is the natural gift of life that everybody has. Ukuthi, should you be in alignment with whom you are in your totality as far as you can gather, these are the things that will inform your success, progress, and nature of your relationship with idlos lakho and your ancestors, bantwana bakagogo. So we just merely emphasizing the point of being clear in your relationship, being understanding the nature of that relationship with your ancestors and nedlos lakho, you know, because it's in there, it's in that quantum field that all answers are laid bare, and your ancestors become that link to remind you on how to connect to that eternal space. Bantwana bakagogo. So I'm just coming through in this verse to say, to find yourself in conflict no moya wakho noma nedlozi lakho is one of the greatest tragedy that you will ever do to yourself and for yourself in the journey. You were not called to be punished. You were not called back to the ways of your ancestors to be punished, but it's to cut back into the natural alignment lebona bebahamba ngayo, of which is an eternal principle, of which nathi kumele sihambe ngayo, of which one day even our children kuzomele ukuthi bahambe ngayo, because this is the unified field of umoya, or spirit, as it were. It's not about punishment and anger, guys, and frustrating your lives. Asibuyeni bantwana bekhaya. Ayede. OmBethe.